When most people do their financial planning for retirement, they think in a straight line. That is, that I will have an X amount of corpus or portfolio. On that, I will get annual returns of maybe 8%, and I will have a budgeted expense every year of Y amount. And based on that assumptions, after 30 years, I'll be left with a Z amount at the end of life. Simple, clean, yet very wrong. Because in reality, the markets are never a straight line. So, what do you do when your future is not a straight line? Well, you run many futures. You design thousands of possibilities. Sounds complex, right? Not really. Let me show you how to do it. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our channel. When we started making our Excel sheets, designing our fire plans, we did the same thing that we drew all our calculations on the straight line consumptions. But then we started asking ourselves, what if there is a market crash? And during our entire journey to financial independence, we had lots of those. What if we live more than the 30 years that we are planning as retirement? What if our expenses change during our retirement process? So we realized that the Excel sheet was not helping us to simulate all these what if scenarios, and it was getting very complex. And fortunately, that's when we found the Monte Carlo simulation model. Funnily enough, the name Monte Carlo model comes from the casino in Monte Carlo. So it's completely contrary to the FIRE philosophy that it's based on a gambling way. Because the mathematician who came up with this model was inspired or helping his uncle, who was a compulsive gambler. So I'm sure his uncle benefited a lot from these simulations, because basically what the Monte Carlo model does is that it runs various permutations and combinations of the thousands of futures or outcomes that one can have based on certain input variables. This could be applied to lots of things, but it's very, very relevant and useful to apply on the FIRE, or at least to design the retirement corpus and see how the retirement corpus will perform in different scenarios. Thankfully, we don't need to go under the hood and look at all the mathematical formulas underlying this model, because there are lots of tools available online, and now there is even AI that can help you simulate these thousands or tens of thousands of scenarios to see how your portfolio will perform. Personally, based on our experience, I think most of the tools that you see online, they are designed for the US market, because they pick up a lot of the data from S&P 500s of the world, etc. And so if you really want to get the best of, I would say, the Monte Carlo analysis, I would advise to use AI rather than use one of the tools. And so put your input variables into ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini, or even Handa Uncle for that matter, so that you can get a lot more localized, customized simulations that are much more accurate to the scenario. So let's see one such scenario, so that I can, using that scenario, explain how the output looks like and how do you interpret it. And then I will also talk about how to maximize the value out of it. So kind of the main key considerations of that. So let's look at one of those scenarios. All right, so what you can see on the screen right now is some of the input variables that I've used. So I've used the starting corpus as 4.5 CR and assumed expenses of 15 lakhs per year as the spending, and with the returns of 8% per year. And then based on 6% inflation with a 30-year scenario, and I'll come to the volatility a bit later, you will see this is the kind of graph that comes out. So the green lines that you see in the graph, they are basically depicting all the scenarios where your portfolio has, you've not run out of money. So even you may be a little bit lower than your starting amount, or maybe a lot higher than the starting amount, as in one of the scenarios that you can see that you're even above the 50 CR in one such scenario, positive scenario. The red lines that you see is, as it says, your portfolio fails, and that's where you run out of money. And I would ignore the dotted line for the moment, because that's where it is the median path, because that gives you more or less how the median average portfolio would look like. But do not make much out of it, but in the sense that do not think that this is how your actual portfolio will average look like, because each of those scenarios, to understand them, that is more important. In the red line area, what you see is that your success rate is 94% in this particular scenario. That means that if there has been 1,000 scenarios that have been simulated in this particular graph, in 60 of those scenarios have failed, and those are the particular market conditions where you did, or this particular portfolio ran out of money. And if you zoom in into any of these red lines, you will see that this red line, or running out of money, was mostly because, or primarily because, of the sequence of returns risk. That means that the initial years, the market performance was very bad. So this is how this particular portfolio, or these thousands of simulations, can look like on an AI tool. And as you can see here, that you can play around, you can increase the corpus, you will see what the success rate looks like, how the overall graph looks like. You can increase or decrease your retirement years, and you will see that the performance will change also accordingly, based on those assumptions changing. So this is all good. Now the key is, how do you use it? So based on our experience of playing around with this for a long time, I'll give you 3 points that can help you get the maximum value out of this Monte Carlo model. So the first one is garbage in, garbage out. And that is that your input parameters are very important to get the right output from here. So for example, if you just give very simplistic input parameters to the tool of just saying that this is my corpus, this is my average return, and this is my target expenses, then you will get a very generic view like I was showing. So this is good for illustration, but it will not give you the real deal. And to get the real deal, you need to pump in as many details as possible. So you need to give details like, what is your overall portfolio split? How much is your stocks, individual stocks? How much is your mutual funds, index funds, bonds, gold, cash, crypto, etc. I would even go one step ahead, because I tried it recently and it gave me phenomenal result, is that you upload your entire Excel sheet onto the AI tool. I would say do it in an anonymous way, so that or instruct the AI to forget it, or at least delete it. But by doing that, you get a very privatized, complete analysis, so that you're not just giving your corpus, you're giving every line item of your entire portfolio onto that. And not just from a split of your overall portfolio, but also give all the assumptions of your expenses in future. Or for example, if you're expecting any pensions or 401ks or any other plans that you have, that when will that start? All those details are very important, because then the simulations that will get generated will be much more realistic. So for example, in our case, when we put very simplistic view that this is our total corpus, this is our 3% withdrawal rate, and with our 30-year plan, how does the simulations look like? And it came back with 100% success rate. But when we gave all the details, the nitty-gritties of the portfolio, like I was talking about, that's when I got a lot more intelligence, and it went down to 96% success rate. So that means that there is a 4% chance that we will run out of money. And that's the second point. Do not chase for 100% success rate in the Monte Carlo simulations. Because when you're chasing 100% success rate, yes, it is great to have that you have got tens of thousands of scenarios, and each of the scenarios you are having a success rate. But believe me, to achieve that, you may end up working a couple of years extra, or even slogging a lot more to just build that 100% success rate. And it may still not become 100%, and I'll tell you why in a bit. Generally, by rule of thumb, It is that if you have anywhere between 85 to 95% success rate, that means you're in the pretty good place. And the reason is, it's not that you are, expecting failure, or you're inviting failure. The reason is because that will make sure that you're zooming into the particular scenarios where there is a failure, and you will already start thinking that how do you plan to build that flexibility in your spending, in your portfolio split, etc. Other reason of this not chasing this 100% success rate is because the assumptions change over time. So your portfolio split will change over time, and the market conditions also change over time. There are new, so for example, crypto was not a thing 10 years back, and now it's big. And so I'm sure that in the next 5 6 years, there'll be other assets, there'll be other parts of your portfolio that will also change that success rate in future. So no use chasing 100% from day one. So how do you avoid that? That's the third point, is that you need to do this regularly. So we, for the last 4 to 5 years, initially we were doing it from the online tools, and now we do it with AI. We are every year doing this Monte Carlo simulations of our portfolio, and we see that the success rate, the simulations change every year because our portfolio mix is changing. We're rebalancing our portfolio. Our expenses, our profile is changing because we are also, whatever, for example, as I mentioned in a couple of these videos, that we had budgeted certain expenses, we were lower than that. That means that the money got added to that portfolio. So all these assumptions change the overall simulations. So make sure that you're putting the right inputs into this. Do not chase that 100%, be in that 85 to 95, because that will also keep you on toes to make sure that you're looking at the assumptions, and do it on a constant yearly basis so that you can keep seeing how your portfolio is evolving. Because keep in mind, fire is not getting crystal ball predictability. Fire is about building that flexibility, and not just a financial flexibility, even in non-financial flexibility. What do you do with your time, like I mentioned in the previous video, and how do you adapt there? And these Monte Carlo simulations will help you see what corrective actions do you need to do on your portfolio, the mix in your portfolio, and how every year the sequence of returns or your corpus changes are impacting your future simulations. So I hope this video gives you an insight into the Monte Carlo simulation model. If you have any questions related to this or any thoughts and comments, please do put it in the comment section below. I'll make sure that we answer each of these questions and get back to you. Till the next video, till the next topic, and till the next location. Goodbye from me. Bye-bye.